Brought to you by 714 Tickets in Anaheim, your trusted source for Angels tickets at unbeatable prices with no hidden fees. Whether it's home or away, they've got your seat covered. Visit them at 2424 East Catella Avenue, Anaheim, or online at 714tickets.com. Mention HITI and get 10% off your purchase. And Brewheim, Anaheim's premier craft brewery, pouring fresh, locally brewed beers in a welcoming atmosphere for Angels fans and beer lovers alike. Stop by their tap room at 1931 East Wright Circle, Anaheim, or check them out at brewheim.com. Mention HITI and get 10% off your tab. The OC Dugout, your one-stop shop for officially licensed Angels memorabilia, custom jersey framing, and exclusive autograph signings with your favorite players. Visit them at 1928 East Center Street, Anaheim, or online at theocdugout.com. Support the businesses that support Halos in the infield.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Around the League show with James here. Didn't need an intro anymore, an outro. I'm real. I'm not AI, so it's all good. I'm better than that, of course. I'm definitely better than that. Be sure to check out the sponsors, of course. Underdog Fantasy, but bet responsibly. I haven't partaken, but I will maybe one day. I'm going to be real careful if I ever did. And don't bet on the Angels. Oh, God. Is the season over yet? I don't know. Be sure to go to 714 Tickets if you want to see the travesty of Angels baseball. You got NBA playoffs coming up with the local teams. You got the local hockey team, not the one in Anaheim across the street from 714 Tickets, but the LA Kings are going. Playoff tickets for that. You know, playoff hockey is always tremendous. Definitely something to watch there. Brewheim, by the way, the announcement for the tailgate, the special tailgate going on Saturday from I think 2 to 5. I think it was. I'll be there hopefully around 3. I'll put 100 in. Robert put 200 in for free beer. So come down and get you one round. I think Todd mentioned. And come join us for the tailgate. There'll be a special announcement for that, I bet, throughout the week, of course. Or, I'm sorry, tomorrow. I may also go to OC Dugout for, memorabilia, signings from players. It's just all over the place. We have tremendous sponsors. And I'm just happy that, they're here, of course. Now, all right. Do have to give my thoughts, of course, on the passing of Yvette Villa. I found out from the chat and then in one of Todd's post-game shows. So young. I remember, I think, meeting her at a tailgate, I want to say, or some function. And it's just so unfortunate you meet people like that. I think that are, so grateful. Big fan of HITI, the network here. I know the Angels from day one, from what I remember, and I'm just sad that she's gone, and she will be missed forever. As long as we live our lives here, and as long as we follow and we cover this baseball team, no matter how bad it gets, she'll live on forever. All right, so let's get to what has been going around the league. There's been a lot going around. All of a sudden, the torpedo bats aren't really a thing anymore. People use them. Like Joe Odell used one, I think, starting on Tuesday in Texas, and you know how that went. A bunch of swings and misses or hits that didn't go anywhere, except in gloves. So Depends how you use your torpedo bat. It could be a phase, a trend, and just goes away, right? So we'll see if that happens. Remember, we talked about that, I think, a couple shows ago. I had on the graphic there, my own great graphic, where I put Jazz Chisholm home using one of their torpedo bats, and he got, I think, thrown out of a game Thursday night in Tampa as the Yankees were visiting the Rays, and it's just weird how that goes. But let's go all the way back to Sunday because there was an interesting homecoming, or whatever you want to say, a player facing his former team. So Garrett Crochet had a no-hit bid going on Sunday, 7 1/3 innings worth against his former team, the Chicago White Sox in Chicago. They call it rate filled now. Not guaranteed rate filled, but I kind of miss when it was Kaminsky Park 2, but or US Cellular filled at least, whatever. Shades of '05, sadly. But how it was broken up was interesting because remember in that trade, Crochet to Boston from Chicago, one of the four players in the Crochet deal broke up the no-hitter with a single to left in the eighth inning. His name was Chase Mederoth. And he was just called up too, was Chase Mederoth. The Red Sox did hold on 3-1, but Garrett Crochet just showed, what it took to get him. And he's going to be a great pitcher for Boston for years to come. Remember, he signed the extension like we talked about. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with for years, and I guarantee that. I really do. All right, so also what happened I should say last weekend, but Sunday, ending Sunday, the surprising San Francisco Giants. By the way, you can come see them this weekend via 714 tickets. Face the Angels and their surprising power. They took 2 out of 3 from the New York Yankees in the Bronx under awful weather. I mean, all weekend long. Friday, the game went, I think, 6 innings, and they just said, we'll just give it to the Giants. They won 9-1. They did lose 8-4. Saturday did the Giants, but they came back and won Sunday. And Jung Ho Lee has had a resurgence of a year. He had back issues last season, and he had 2 home runs for the Giants on Sunday. And also, Wilmer Flores has had a power surge. Last time I knew he had 6 home runs. And this is a guy who hit maybe the best of his years. He would hit maybe 12 a year with the Mets back in the day. Remember, he was a shortstop that was crying because he was there was a report that he got traded during the game, and it was against San Diego. So I was watching that game. I remember back in, whatever, last decade. So it looks like he's found a home, and he's thriving. And that lineup is really thriving with the Giants. You have Chapman, Willie Adames, the 2 free agent signings the last couple of years they've had. You add it with the young talent they have, Yastrzemski. They're trying to build it up. Patrick Bailey's the catcher there. They have arms with Logan Webb and Justin Verlander, who you can see on Sunday against the Angels. And from what Todd has mentioned and from what I kind of remember, Verlander kills the Angels, among others. And, it might be the last chance you see Verlander live. You just never know because of injury, because of age. I think he's 42 years of age. And, it'd be a treat to see Verlander, but hopefully not have the same success he's had against the Angels. I might even be there. Who knows? I'll go Saturday. I'll see you at Brewheim. Also, all weekend long, and I was watching, I want to say, 2 of the 3 games of when the Mets were in Sacramento to face the Athletics. And all weekend long, SNY, who, covers the Mets and shows the games for New York fans there, showed not only Met fans there, but showed A's fans wearing Oakland gear. And that was a thing because, and I remember the announcers too, Cohen and oh god, Rod Darling was there, Ron Darling, and they kept mentioning how it's weird being in a minor league ballpark. There were Seinfeld references all over the weekend, and they kept showing the Oakland people, the people wearing Oakland stuff. And it was just funny because the A's brass, A's folks in the PR department, what a mess that is, right? Um, avoiding showing people wearing Oakland stuff or anything, Sacramento, Oakland, Last Dive Bar, shout out to them. I've seen their, at least their Facebook page I've seen, but they had great moments from the past, and you see people wearing that stuff still. Like I'm wearing green. I didn't wear it because of that. I just realized it. But it's just a Carhartt T-shirt. That's why I'm wearing it. But it's just weird because the A's brass won't have anything to do with Oakland anymore, anything to do with Sacramento, but they have yet to still uh, really build up that new stadium in Las Vegas where the Tropicana used to be. If you go there now, I think it's still just piles of dirt. It's like when people, I think there was a movie called Who's the Man, and these people came into this New York borough, and they never did any construction, but they were drilling oil, but made people think, no, we're not doing anything. No, don't worry, we're going to build. Something's going on with that Vegas stadium. I don't know what, but look out for that in the future. Maybe it won't get built. Maybe they'll stay in Sacramento. I know the Kings owner wants another sports franchise there. He owns, where the River Cats play, that Sutter Health Park in Sacramento, West Sacramento. Gotta remember that, West. All right, so also on the weekend, the San Diego Padres showed their dominance on the weekend, sweeping Colorado and shut them out all 3 games. I was going to go to one, then I realized, why would I see that? You know what it's going to be. 16-0, all, no runs given up. They scored 8 on Friday, 2 on Saturday, and then 6 on Sunday. And it was just amazing because, I'll mention really quick about San Diego. Michael King, their starter, who's going to be a free agent. I really want the Angels to get him. But he won a complete game shutout. It's the second in MLB this season. Nathan Eovaldi had it, I think, on I think it was April 1st. Yeah, April 1st. No, I'm sorry. March 31st in Cincinnati, cold Cincinnati, after the Rangers were blown out like 16-1 or something like that. Nathan Eovaldi came back and threw a shutout, complete game shutout, 99 pitches. So yeah, shout out Michael King for doing that. He's been a stud ever since he came from the Yankees in that trade to San Diego for Juan Soto. Juan Soto left. Awkward. But Colorado, I just wanted to rant about them because I've seen their story, and if you see it on YouTube, where they talk about, I think it was called Mile High Ballpark or something Mile High for the Colorado Rockies. They explained how the history of baseball in Denver, and then how they got to be Major League in Colorado, I think it's called. But the events leading up to the voting and the planning of where the stadium was going to be, Coors Field, and how the ballpark went up and how they did well just in their 3rd year. And then you fast forward, they go to the World Series in 07, get swept by Boston. That was a foregone conclusion, even when that series started, I remember. The Angels lost to Boston that year in 07, of course. But it just goes to show you, like Colorado, okay, they haven't made the playoffs, I think, since 2019. I think it was. They actually swept Chicago they took 2 out of 3 in that wild card series that they had in 2019. And ever since then, they haven't done anything. Chris Bryant, who they got, he's back on the disabled injured list with a lumbar degenerative disc disease. That sounds worse than a 10-day IL, doesn't it? They didn't provide a timetable for his return or the details about a treatment plan, according to sources. And that's becoming one of the worst contracts, along with number 6 and contracts from the past, or Javier Baez with Detroit City. But his 7-year contract is one of the worst just because of injuries. Chris Bryant has been an outstanding citizen. But you look at Dick Munford, the owner of Colorado, he just doesn't want to spend anymore. And it's hard getting pitchers to pitch there anyway with the elevated air or the thin air with the elevation. And they try putting the baseballs in the human fire, and then the balls will still go out. They try putting up the fence higher in right center field. It still goes over the fence for the road team for the home runs. The Dodgers come in, they bring their fans, and they kick your ass and take your money, basically. I was thinking about this, and I know people want their money. The teams want to make their money. The league wants to make their money. But I can remember a scenario, I think in 99 or 2000. God, 25, 26 years ago. Jeez. The MLB was going to get rid of 2 teams. And it was going to be the Minnesota Twins and the Oakland Athletics. Now, of course, they're still around. The Athletics have left to go to Sacramento for 3 years, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like, again, I'm going to say this probably every damn show. Why is there baseball in Florida? Only time people care is when people come from the north to the south, whatever that's called, right? While the birds fly south, right? Miami, nobody cares. Marlins Park, nobody cares about the Marlins until, a Dominican player comes, or a Venezuelan player comes, or a Cuban player comes, or the New York teams come, or Philly people come. Same thing with the Rays, and now they're homeless or unhoused, whatever. Why is there baseball there? They're never going to spend, and they won't be successful, and you're losing money on all of the teams. Now, Colorado, they used to have attendance figures, $4 million a year, and you have the territory around there. And Denver is a pretty big city. And you have all those suburbs around there too. But man, nobody goes and nobody cares because they don't spend. So I would just get rid of the Rockies, the Rays, and the Marlins. If they don't want to contribute to MLB, or just move the damn teams. It'd be hard leaving Coors Field, but it's just cheap owners and just all this BS going on. And feels like a lot of that is with the Angels too, but the Rockies, they're just so damn irrelevant. And I hate whenever they come to San Diego because somebody out there is willing to say, hey, you want to go to this game? Hell no. I'm good. All right, let's get off of that. Unfortunately, there was news on the weekend that Cubs all-star starter, try to say that 3 times, Justin Steele will have to undergo elbow surgery on his throwing hand, of course, throwing elbow, the left arm, of course, and will be out the season. It's a big loss for the Chicago Cubs, who, of course, I picked to win the Central. Still can. You got to see if because remember, they're cheap, notoriously, as of late. I know a lot of pressures on Jed Hoyer and, everybody there on the Cubs with the Ricketts family not giving as much to spend for the team. They did make some deals in the offseason, but now you lose your best starter. He's got tremendous stuff. I hope he comes back, and comes back well, and he's not a shell of himself. But it's just the whatever pandemic or the issue that's going around baseball from the teens on through high school, college, minors that these elbow surgeries are needed, and it's just so damn unfortunate to see. And literally, it could happen to anyone. It's like death. It literally can happen to anyone. These elbow surgeries, these surgeries, it just sucks for Justin Steele and all the ones that have had it. Speaking of the Cubs, Kyle Tucker, I've never seen this before, but he took defensive indifference to a new height or a new level, whatever you want to say. They were losing in San Diego to the Padres, I think 5-1 or whatever it was. And the shift was on, well, not the shift, but on the left side, the shift was over to the bag, and nobody was covering third. So Kyle Tucker, this is why I love him. This is why I wish he would be an Angel, but Trout's in right now. He saw no one was at third, and it kind of reminded me of Dustin Pedroia at that long extra inning game that back in like 2015, I think it was, where he took second, nobody was coming third, and he took third. It's a long ass game. I remember going home, and it was like 2 a.m. Anyway, little things like that just stand out to me. So Kyle Tucker takes second. Realized no one's covering third. He takes third. The run wouldn't have meant anything. He didn't score anyway. But it's just those little things that make you like, hey, I want him to be on our team. He's very smart. All right, and also that day on Monday, the Rays defeat the Boston Red Sox 16-1 in Tampa. I just had to put that out there. And they probably had, so many damn Red Sox fans there. I know for the Yankee series, they had, it looked like, all Yankee fans were there. Speaking of the Yankees, Aaron Judge was named the team captain for Team USA for the upcoming 2026 World Baseball Classic. And Mike Trout, of course, nodded, Tidbit's cap to Judge. And Mark DeRosa will be the manager again for Team USA. You can see him, I think, on MLB Central every morning on MLB Network. My TV's over there, but it's not on, of course. I don't know why. I was looking over there. But the coaching staff is tremendous. The list of coaches on the Team USA staff make you run through a wall. Tuesday was Jackie Robinson Day, number 42. Everybody wore 42 in Dodger blue. That's been going around, I think, now like 4 or 5 years, I think, where it used to be unique, where it used to be the team's number, but in 42. Now everybody wears the Dodger 42, and it just looks weird on other teams. But it makes me wonder this, and I really had to say this, but if Roberto Clemente should get the same respect. I know he didn't break a color barrier, but the way that he passed away, remember he was flying supplies over to Nicaragua, on the way to Nicaragua, and the plane crashed and he died with others. Just showing how giving and how great he was on the field. I think he won, it was 2 World Series. He was put in right away in the Hall of Fame in 1973. He became the first Caribbean player and the second of Hispanic descent after Lefty Gomez to be put in the Hall of Fame. Clemente was a 13-time All-Star, selected to 15 games. He was a National League MVP 1 time, batting leader 4 times, Gold Glove winner 12 consecutive seasons through 61 and 72, through 1961 to 72. Batting average was over 300 for 13 seasons, and he got the 300 hits for his major league career. He was also a 2-time champion, 60 and 71. He was the first player born or from the Caribbean and Latin America to win the World Series at a starting position in 1960, and the first to receive an MVP award. and to receive the World Series MVP award. So if you're doing that for Jackie Robinson, should we be doing this for Clemente? Everybody, we have a Roberto Clemente Day, but not everybody's wearing 21. And I know other teams have said, "Hey, we're not going to allow players to wear 21." So that's why you don't see many 21s out there. I know we had what's his name, Dude Theis wearing one, but I just think it's time that we get that number retired. If you give the same respect to Jackie, you should give it to Clemente. Just what he meant to the game of baseball. For me, it was his throwing arm. I love outfielders in their arms. Guerrero, Dave Parker, and Clemente was right up there. That spinning throw in the '71 World Series against the in Baltimore, that's maybe one of the best throws ever. So what do you think? Should Clemente's number be retired by MLB? Please put your answers in the comments, whoever watches this. Also on Tuesday, Dodger Stadium was picked to be the site for the 2028 Olympic Games for baseball. It was in 1984. What did you think? The Big A was going to get that? No way would it host it. No way. I heard they were having issues. The Olympic Committee the cities were trying to put host sites in there, but a lot of the cities are really awful in LA. They're having what's a horse sport in Olympics? I forget, but that's going to be out here in Temecula, away from Los Angeles. That's just crazy when I think about that. But I know Santa Monica was supposed to have something, but that obviously isn't going to happen. All right, let's skip over to Wednesday. Patrick Corbin, the starting pitcher for Texas, he pitched a hell of a game, as we all know. The Angels made him look like Cy Young out there. It was awful. The night before, this story is crazy. He was bit by a spider with venom. Hi, Mom. The night before, he made that start while he was sleeping in Max Scherzer's old house, somewhere in the Texas area. It was just one of those stories where he just became Spider-Man. And all of a sudden, he remembered how to pitch. Remember, Corbin, he's been one of the worst pitchers since 2020. He won the ring with Washington, signed a big-ass contract, and he's been awful from the left side. But he almost missed that last start, being bit by a suspected venomous spider on Monday. That's just crazy to me to see that. There were reports saying that he was hardly being able to walk when he arrived in the clubhouse. And then a couple days later, boom, 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 boom. And he's Nolan Ryan all of a sudden, like somebody mentioned. That's the Angels. Spider-Man took down the Angels this week, or on Wednesday. That's just crazy. Crazy. It's awful. There was a scary moment on Wednesday in Minneapolis. In the seventh inning of Wednesday afternoon's game between the New York Mets and Minnesota Twins at Target Field, first base umpire Hunter Winterstadt was struck in the head by a foul ball hit by Mets center fielder Tyrone Taylor. Literally here, imagine the hat right there. Oh yeah, right here. Literally right there. Down the first base line. Windelstedt, of course, was forced to leave the game. I didn't see any blood, but I didn't see the red angles, I don't think. But he was down on the ground for several minutes before he got to his feet, and he was assisted off the field. Windelstedt is in his 28th Major League season as an umpire. And it makes me think, and Vin Scully always mentioned this all the time, whenever the first base, third base coaches got hit, then they had to wear, and they still wear those helmets without the ear flaps, like the old school helmets. It's just an evolving door. But we've seen home plate umpires wear those helmets. And Windelstadt, I remember he does too. They don't just wear a hat backwards. They have their own helmets behind home plate with the catchers, with the umpire's mask, I should say. But should the base umpires have to wear the helmets just like the first base and the third base coaches? Let me know in the comments what you think about that. It's a safety issue. It might not look good, but just like glasses, it'll make you see, and it will somewhat uh, make it not so bad. But that was a scary moment. I saw that video. I kind of cringed. Never want to see that. For those fans who came to that game in Minnesota and the kids who had to see that, I know that's just that's just a horrible experience. I'm trying to find the word for it, but that was just awful, awful, awful. But Thursday, let's get to that. So as you're watching this yesterday, Corey Seager hit his 100th home run as a Ranger yesterday, and it was just one of those breaking balls, middle end that Corey loves. Throw it in the wrong space. Look what's going to happen. First pitch of that inning, too, by, I think, Zephyr John? I think it was, by the Angels. Bruce Bochy moved to 7th all-time in managerial wins with the win on Thursday over the Angels and the complete sweep. Also, he's 13-12 on his birthday. So a belated happy birthday to the former skipper of San Diego, San Francisco, and now the world champion with Texas. He has 4 World Series championships, 3 at the Giants, 1 with Texas. I think he's a shoo-in for a Hall of Famer. It was crazy when he came back because I thought he was done. But he's always been a tremendous manager, someone that you really trust, and the players love him. I've never seen a dispute with a player from him, during his time anywhere. So Bruce Bochy's a great one. Speaking of managers that people love, Clint Hurdle is back at Colorado as the new hitting instructor, new coach. They fired the old one in Colorado, like that's going to help. But it is a great sign to see that. Todd, I think on the postgame show, mentioned on Thursday, Clint Hurdle was 250,000 away from being a bench coach, I think, with the Angels, with Ron Washington and company. But Artie, whomever, did not want to pay that. And I think he would have lit a fire, like Todd mentioned. So, but it's cool for those Rocky fans from the past who, were there during the good times with Clint Hurdle when they were last really relevant. And now he's back in the dugout. And I'm hoping, whenever they have a home game again, a standing ovation will be in the cards for the Rocky fans. Let's get to some oddities. Oh, God. I saw this the other day. We talked about Tampa Bay Rays and being in Tampa and outside. And what's one food you would love to have in a hot-ass day, right? Like a snow cone, ice cream, something in a cup, right? Like something in a cup. So you think ice cream, Coke, beer, water, water. But this year at Rays games, they are selling deli meat in a souvenir cup. And I looked to see if this was a April Fool's joke, but it was a story, in March before the season started. Turkey, ham, it just sounds so disgusting in that, climate, in that weather outside. I don't care what month it is. Steamy meat in a cup. That's going to smell. Yikes, in that weather. But yeah, I thought it was an April Fool's joke, but nope. It was real, and it's really, really bad when you think about that. I just couldn't believe that when I read that. It's just sickening Like, what else would be bad, in a hot ass day than deli meat, right? Like, what cheese? Are you gonna have cheese by itself? Those cheese cubes. I love those, but I'm not on a hot ass day. I don't want no cheese cubes. It's just crazy to think that that's a real thing they're selling, with the Rockies. It's crazy, crazy. All right, all right. Some other things happening in the baseball world, real quick. MLB came out with oh no, this SBC football on Instagram here mentioned the most common first names among current players in the big four sports, right? Going around. In baseball, there's 28 Jose's, there's 28 Nicks. Think about that. Jose and Nicks, there's 28 of them each. There's 27 Tylers. There's 24 Ryans and 22 Lewises. Or Luis. I didn't know that. But Jose and Nick leads the world with that in MLB. All right, some other things. I went back in time, and thank you to MLB Hall of Good, because I saw this on Instagram and I remember watching this game. So Edwin Jackson was pitching a game in Tampa in the Dome, of course, for the Diamondbacks. He did throw a no-hitter, but it was tainted. He threw 149 pitches. That would never happen now. He walked 8 batters. That's why I say it was tainted. That's not a no-hitter to me. I don't care if there was no hits. The Diamondbacks won the game 1-0. And Jackson was already at 70 pitches after 3 innings. It was the 4th no-hitter of 2010. And remember, I think that was the same year, maybe it's a year later, that Andres Galarraga. God, what's his name? From the Tigers. He had the no-hitter, but Jim Joyce called the runner safe. I'm blanking on the name, but that no-hitter should have happened too. There were players in the homeless drought, and thank you to Athlon Sports for bringing this up. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has yet to hit a home run in 22 games. His last home run was September 19th of last season. Dylan Cruz of Washington, 32 games. He has yet to hit a home run. His last was September 7th. Isaac Paredes was 40 games. The last time he hit a home run, and I think he hit one recently, but the last one before that was April 26th of last season. Duran Duran, 40 games. It was August 30th of last year, the last time he hit a home run. And Bo Bichette, 44 games. Last time he hit one was May 27th of last season. And then Luis Robert Jr. of the White Sox. Somebody's eventually going to trade for him. The Dodgers probably will. It's been 45 games. Last home run was August 16th. And then Tim Anderson, now the Angels. His last home run was 113 games ago for him. It was July 29th of 2023, the last time Tim Anderson has hit a home run. And you can tell by his batting this year, he may never hit a home run again. I mean, he has a great glove, but and he makes the routine double plays happen. But damn, he ain't known for his bat. It's unfortunate. So I had to leave it on that with Tim Anderson. We all know that he's there, and it's just really, really bad. Also, I did want to get to this. MLB and teams are privately contemplating what a salary cap would look like. Behind the scenes, they're talking about it. The league as well as owners have begun checking it out. They're discussing a salary cap and floor for the next collective bargaining agreement after the current one expires following the 2026 season. So this fight, of course, won't come without a lockout, which many people, including Tony Clark, the players' union head, are fully expecting to happen. I mean, even next year, I don't expect a season And then 2027 would be hoping. But thank you to Dugout Report for that, because I know people were talking about it. And I know they were working on it behind the scenes. And you just know it was going to happen. Oh, also, I had to mention this. So last week, Jose Quintana, remember him, the former Angel, I think in 2019 or 2021? No, 2019. He has now defeated all 30 MLB teams. He got the win over the Diamondbacks last week, and it made him the 24th pitcher in MLB history to defeat 30 ball clubs. The only active pitchers to do this are, of course, Max Scherzer, Charlie Morton, and Garrett Cole. You would have thought Justin Verlander, but no. You would have to imagine, too, Nolan Ryan. No, he's not on this list because he didn't defeat all the teams. So I just caught myself there. Jamie Moyer's probably on this list, I'd imagine. Roy Halladay as well. But those are just some of those crazy stories that, you'll find on MLB, the crazy stats. That one about Tim Anderson, that one just really, really lingers when you think about it, how bad he's hit for the Angels this year. DFA, please. So again, shout out to the sponsors. I'll play the video, of course, but don't forget the tailgate on April 19th. I'll be there. Remember, that's at Brewheim. There's $300 worth of free beer, and someone has to drink it. Why not you? Also, we're going to head over to the Big A, catch the Giants and the Angels. Bring your Giant friends. They fit in seats as well, but they're giving that Big A and Millennium Falcon. The Millennium Falcon is on the Big A. I might do what someone else would do and just take the Falcon off, so I just have the Big A. I think that looks cool. But it's Star Wars weekend for all you whatever's out there. I don't know. I never watched anything, but I just wanted to trill the Star Wars people there. But yeah, come out to the Big A. Use 714 tickets for your tickets, but come to Brewheim. Go to OC Dugout for your memorabilia, and go to Underdog Fantasy to make some extra change. Spend some change, make some change back. Thank you to the sponsors. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe here on Halos in the Infield, HITI Network, and we will see you next time on Around the League. Thank you for watching episode 7. Please leave a comment on, all the social media platforms and here on YouTube on the background. Thank you, folks. You take care out there. And I don't know if we'll go Halos, but they're not going anywhere. Waiting for my thing to work. Pause. What else? Okay, I think we're good there. Take care, folks. We'll see you next time on episode.
Brought to you by 714 Tickets in Anaheim, your trusted source for Angels tickets at unbeatable prices with no hidden fees. Whether it's home or away, they've got your seat covered. Visit them at 2424 East Catella Avenue, Anaheim, or online at 714tickets.com. Mention HITI and get 10% off your purchase. And Brewheim, Anaheim's premier craft brewery, pouring fresh, locally brewed beers in a welcoming atmosphere for Angels fans and beer lovers alike. Stop by their tap room at 1931 East Wright Circle, Anaheim, or check them out at brewheim.com. Mention HITI and get 10% off your tab. The OC Dugout, your one-stop shop for officially licensed Angels memorabilia, custom jersey framing, and exclusive autograph signings with your favorite players. Visit them at 1928 East Center Street, Anaheim, or online at theocdugout.com. Support the businesses that support Halos in the Infield.